Hey, everybody. I just want to think out loud here for a few minutes about my 20-gallon open topped office tank, and I'd be interested to hear other people's thoughts and opinions about what I'm considering here. I'm looking for a new specimen fish for this tank, and fortunately, on cue somehow, one of my viewers contacted me and they are moving and they need to rehome one of their fish that would absolutely be perfect for this tank. They even suggested themselves that it would go great in this tank. So we'll save the surprise of that for later. I am, if all goes well, going out this afternoon to meet with him and pick the fish up. But in the meantime, it's going to come home and go into my quarantine tank. And this is where its home is eventually going to be. But I'm thinking more and more about the denitrification process. I shot a video a while ago where I talked about, it wasn't really worth setting up your tank to establish sort of a denitrification process. If you were worried about the nitrates that much, you could simply do water changes and physically remove the nitrates. But over time, I've sort of inadvertently set up a few tanks that have fairly deep substrate. And in one, the little foot tank at the foot of my waterfall, I've got a really deep sand bed with a restricted water flow. And in that tank, I get no nitrate buildup at all, despite never, well, again, I can't say never. Maybe once a year I do water changes on that tank, literally. I top it off and I top it off and I top it off and I top it off, and I never do anything to that tank. And when I check, I've got no nitrates in it. And it looks filthy and gross. There's mulm and all kinds of stuff on the bottom of it, but I've got no nitrates in it ever. And the only thing I can think is that I've set up a deep sand bed denitrification. And so in that tank, I have the full nitrogen cycle. Most of the time, when we talk about the nitrogen cycle, what we're talking about is a segment of the nitrogen cycle. Even in that tank, the full nitrogen cycle starts with the production of nitrogen and goes all the way around through the plant life and so on and so forth. And then it gets broken down into ammonia, and that's the part we know about, is where it gets broken down into ammonia and then converted to nitrate. But the nitrates will get broken back down back into nitrogen if you set your tank up with a deep enough substrate and you've got the water flow correct and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm thinking about doing is going out. I might even have some around the house. I know I've got more of this aquarium gravel, as it's called. You can get it at Walmart. I can't think of the brand name that it's sold under, and I honestly don't know if that's Walmart store brand or if they are buying it. It's like aquaculture. That's what it is. So the aquaculture aquarium gravel, and again, you can see it's just pea gravel. I guess that's pea gravel. I don't know how big pea gravel is necessarily. Those are much, much smaller than the size of a pea. But it's just aquarium gravel. You get 25 pounds of it for $13 or something. I'm sure I've got more of that downstairs from old tanks that I've dumped out and never done anything with the gravel that was in them. So I know I can add some depth to the gravel. Right now, this is one of those setups that basically has enough gravel in the bottom so that it looks like it's got gravel in the bottom. And it doesn't really serve much of a purpose. It's only maybe an inch deep. You can see it comes just above the black rim right there. And that's its purpose. It's just designed to give the tank a bottom. And so it looks like there's, a stream bed or something rather than just bare glass on the bottom. But if you do the bed deep enough and correctly, you can, that bed can actually serve a function. And so for the fish I'm getting, I don't know how sensitive they are to nitrates. Again, I'm really dubious about how sensitive any fish is to nitrates, to be honest with you. But in this occasion, I'm getting a fish from somebody else. I feel kind of an extra special obligation to, take really good care of it. I'd really, really hate to have to shoot a video a week from now telling everybody that this guy's fish is dead because I did something dumb or something like that. So what I'm thinking about doing is just getting a little more gravel in there, maybe doubling the depth of the gravel. But I've also got sand. I think. And if not, I can certainly just go buy some play sand or something like that. And so if I put an inch or two of sand in the bottom of it and then covered that with, just let the sand sift down through the gravel, sort of like my Eco Complete substrate that I always talk about that I like so much. It's that bimodal stuff. It's got the really fine, sandy texture to it, but it's also got the rougher, more gravelly texture. And over time, they separate out. All the sand works its way to the bottom and gives you a nice, stable bed. And then you get the more loose and free flowing. The water can circulate through it a little better near the surface, where you get the more gravelly effect. So pouring sand in there, I don't know whether that would be a good idea or not. Once upon a time long ago, I did that, and I mixed this kind of gravel with that faux sand. They call it aquarium sand, and you can get in all the different colors. You get like little 5-pound bags of it. And I took the white stuff. And if you actually look way back on my angelfish tank playlist, you'll see way back when my 55-gallon tank was my angelfish tank. And I started out with that way, way back in the day with about 1,000,000 rocks in it. I'm probably not really even exaggerating very much there. And I did gravel and that white sand in there. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought it would look good. But it did not. And it didn't mix well. And I don't know. It was just weird looking. So I'm really reluctant to put sand in there, although I think natural sand would give a much, much more natural appearance. I don't know. Again, I'm a little concerned about doing that based on my experiences from before. But I also put mostly that white sand in there and then tried to just kind of supplement it with some bags of gravel. This would be the other way around. I'd have mostly gravel, but I'd have just enough sand that it gave me, a solid bed of maybe an inch and a half deep at the bottom. And I think that would give me a more stable tank. And it might not give me full denitrification, but I think it would add to, it would denitrify some of it. It would give me a deeper root bed for some of my plants in there. Maybe those Java would take off a little better. It would certainly be good for my temple plant, because we all know that's only a matter of time before that beast is back up and out of the water and growing up towards mycelium. So, I don't know. Like I said, let me know what your thoughts are. Should I double the depth of the gravel and then add some sand to it? In all likelihood, by the time you're watching this, if you've even gotten this far in the video and you're hearing me say this, I'll probably already have done whatever I'm going to do by the time you're watching this. But I still want to hear your opinion. I still want to find out what you say, and we'll find out, who's right or how it looks or whatever, if I do it or don't. I don't know. Like I said, let me know. Give me your opinion. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. So thanks for watching this one. Make sure you're subscribed. You never know what you're going to get with me. And, of course, you don't want to miss what's coming up with this or that new fish I'm getting. And if you're subscribed and you got that bell on, you won't miss any of that. So thanks for watching this one. Don't forget, this is my 20-gallon office tank. I'll see you real soon in the next one.